Remember when we were young and our parents told us that fruit was nature's perfect food? Those colorful, sweet gifts of the earth that promised vitality and health? For most of our lives, we've carried this wisdom with us, reaching for an apple instead of a cookie, adding berries to our breakfast, feeling virtuous with each natural choice. And you know what? That wisdom still holds true, but with a beautiful twist that comes with the wisdom of our years. As we journey beyond 60, our bodies have transformed in remarkable ways. They've carried us through decades of experience, supported us through life's challenges, and continue to adapt with each passing season. And just as we've evolved, so too should our understanding of what truly nourishes us. Today, I want to share something deeply personal with you, something I've discovered through years of research and lived experience. Some fruits, despite their natural origins, may no longer serve our changing bodies as they once did. Others have become even more powerful allies in our quest for vibrant health in these golden years. I believe you deserve to know which fruits might quietly work against your well-being, and which ones could become your partners in vitality, memory protection, and joyful movement. Because this journey of aging, it's not about limitation, it's about making empowered choices that honor the wisdom of your years. Before we dive into these life-changing insights, I'd love to connect with you beyond today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so we can continue this conversation about thriving in our prime years. And as we go through today's journey together, I'd be grateful to hear your experiences with these fruits in the comments below. Which ones have you found most beneficial? Share your story and help inspire others on their health journey. Now, let's explore the fruits that might not be serving your beautiful, evolving body, and the ones that could transform your health in ways you never imagined possible. 4 fruits to approach with care after 60. 1. Grapefruit. There's something almost magical about cutting into a grapefruit on a sunny morning. That burst of citrus aroma, the jewel-like segments glistening with natural juice, the refreshing balance of sweet and tart. For years, many of us have included this breakfast classic in our health routines, appreciating its vitamin C and antioxidant properties. But here's where wisdom becomes our greatest gift. What nourishes at one stage of life may create unexpected challenges in another. For those of us embracing our 60s and beyond, grapefruit holds a secret that too few doctors think to mention. This beautiful fruit contains compounds called furanocoumarins that interact with an enzyme in your liver. The very enzyme responsible for metabolizing many common medications that support heart health, manage blood pressure, control cholesterol, and ease anxiety. When this enzyme is compromised, those vital medications can reach potentially dangerous levels in your bloodstream. Imagine this scenario. You enjoy half a grapefruit with breakfast, take your daily medications, and go about your day feeling proactive about your health, never realizing that this innocent-seeming combination could lead to muscle damage, heart rhythm disturbances, or excessive bleeding, depending on your prescriptions. This isn't meant to alarm you. It's meant to empower you. With over 70% of Americans over 65 taking regular medications, this knowledge could be life-preserving. The wisdom isn't in fearing grapefruit, but in recognizing that our bodies deserve thoughtful care, tailored to our current season of life. If you're taking medications, and please continue taking them as prescribed, consider speaking with your pharmacist about possible grapefruit interactions. Your health journey deserves this thoughtful attention to detail, because every choice matters when it comes to honoring the body that has carried you through decades of beautiful living. If you're finding these insights helpful, please share your own experience with these fruits in the comments below. I'd love to know you're with me on this journey. Now let's continue with another fruit that deserves our mindful consideration. 2. Cherries. There's something deeply nostalgic about cherries isn't there? Those summer evenings spent pitting cherries for grandmother's famous pie, the satisfaction of that perfect burst of sweetness, the children with cherry-stained fingers and smiles. These tiny fruits hold big places in our hearts and memories. And while these ruby gems do offer antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds, they also come with aspects that our wiser, more experienced bodies might struggle with, especially if you're navigating the delicate balance of blood sugar or managing joint discomfort. When we bite into a cherry, we're enjoying approximately 20 grams of natural sugar per cup, sugar that enters our bloodstream quite rapidly. For those of us whose bodies have become more sensitive to insulin fluctuations over time, this can trigger energy crashes, mood swings, and even contribute to inflammation, the very thing many of us are working so diligently to manage. And for those beautiful warriors among us who live with arthritis or joint sensitivity, cherry's natural acidity, especially when consumed in large quantities or concentrated forms like juices and dried versions, may intensify rather than soothe inflammatory responses in some people. I share this not to take away a pleasure, but to invite awareness around how your unique body responds. Perhaps you might enjoy a smaller portion, savor each cherry mindfully rather than absent-mindedly finishing a bowl, or balance them with protein to slow that sugar absorption. Your relationship with food is personal and precious. The greatest gift you can give yourself is attention to how your body feels after eating, honoring its wisdom and responses. Because living vibrantly isn't about deprivation. It's about making informed choices that support your highest well-being. And speaking of choices that impact our well-being, let's explore a fruit that's been celebrated for its potassium content, but might require more thoughtful consideration than we realize. 3. Bananas. They're nature's perfect snack package, aren't they? Portable, naturally sweet, no preparation required. Bananas have been our grab-and-go companions for decades. They've fueled our morning walks, satisfied our sweet cravings, and offered reliable energy when we needed it most. And there's much to celebrate about bananas. They provide fiber, support digestion, and offer a natural sweetness that can satisfy cravings for less healthy options. But as our bodies transform with the passing years, there's an aspect of bananas we might need to consider more carefully: their potassium content. Potassium is essential for heart rhythm, muscle function, and cellular health. There's no question about its importance. But as we age, our kidneys may not filter excess potassium as efficiently as they once did. For those taking certain heart or blood pressure medications, especially ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, this can lead to a condition called hyperkalemia, where potassium builds up in the bloodstream. This doesn't mean bananas become forbidden fruit. Not at all. But it does invite us to be more mindful, especially if you're taking medications that affect potassium levels or if you have kidney concerns. Perhaps enjoying half a banana instead of a whole one, or alternating with lower potassium fruits, might be a gentle way to maintain balance. What matters most is knowing your body's unique needs in this beautiful season of life. Ask your healthcare provider about your kidney function and whether potassium levels are something you should monitor. Because true wellness comes not from following generalized rules, but from honoring your body's individual story. And if we're speaking of fruits that ask for our careful attention, there's another category that often disguises itself as health food, but may pose challenges for our more experienced bodies. 4. Dried fruits. Remember those little boxes of raisins in our lunch boxes? Or perhaps you've embraced dried apricots, cranberries, or dates as healthy alternatives to candy or processed sweets. There's something deeply satisfying about their chewy texture and concentrated sweetness. And yes, they do retain many of the vitamins and minerals of their fresh counterparts. But here's where our life wisdom serves us well. Dried fruits are essentially fresh fruits with their water removed, which means all the sugar of a larger portion condensed into a smaller, more concentrated form. A small handful of raisins contains the sugar equivalent of a whole bunch of grapes, without the hydration and volume that would naturally help us feel satisfied with less. For those of us navigating the sometimes tricky terrain of blood sugar management, this concentrated sweetness can trigger rapid spikes and subsequent crashes that affect everything from our energy and mood to our long-term cardiovascular health. Additionally, many commercial dried fruits contain added sugars or preservatives like sulfites, which can trigger sensitivities in some people. This doesn't mean dried fruits need to disappear from your life. They still offer fiber, nutrients, and natural sweetness, but perhaps they serve us better as a mindful garnish rather than a snack eaten by the handful. A sprinkle of raisins on your morning oatmeal, a few dried apricots chopped into a salad, or a date or two enjoyed with some protein-rich nuts might allow you to enjoy their benefits without overwhelming your system, because thriving in these golden years isn't about restriction. It's about making room for more of what truly serves your evolving body. And speaking of what serves us beautifully, let's turn toward the fruits that become even more valuable allies as we age, starting with a tiny powerhouse that could help preserve your most precious memories. 4 fruits that become more valuable after 60. 1. Blueberries. Have you ever watched a child discover blueberries for the first time? The wonder at how something so small could burst with such flavor? There's wisdom in that wonder, because these humble berries, despite their size, might be one of nature's most powerful gifts to our aging brains. As we journey through our 60s, 70s, and beyond, many of us notice subtle shifts in our cognitive function, a name that takes longer to recall, a thought that slips away before we can fully grasp it, moments of mental fog that briefly cloud our clarity. These changes, while natural, can feel unsettling as they touch on our fundamental sense of self. This is where blueberries enter our story as quiet heroes. Their deep blue color comes from compounds called anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that can cross the blood-brain barrier and work directly in the brain tissue where memories are formed and stored. These compounds help reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 processes that contribute to cognitive decline as we age. Research has shown that regular consumption of blueberries may slow cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. Imagine that, potentially gaining years of mental clarity through something as simple and delicious as adding half a cup of blueberries to your daily routine. But these little berries don't stop at brain protection. They're also heart allies, helping to manage blood pressure and cholesterol levels. And with their relatively low sugar content and high fiber, they're gentle on blood glucose levels, making them suitable even for those monitoring their insulin response. There's something profoundly comforting about finding protection in something so accessible, so natural, and so delightful to eat. Sprinkle them on yogurt, blend them into smoothies, enjoy them fresh by the handful. Each berry is a small investment in your future cognitive health. In a world that often makes wellness seem complicated, blueberries remind us that sometimes the most powerful medicine grows quietly from the earth, asking only to be recognized and enjoyed. And if these tiny berries can help protect your precious memories, imagine what one of the most familiar fruits in the world might do for your heart. 2. Apples. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. How many times have we heard this saying throughout our lives? There's something almost quaint about it, a remnant of simpler times, when health advice didn't come with complicated scientific explanations or endless caveats. Yet sometimes the oldest wisdom holds the deepest truth. Modern research has revealed that this humble fruit, so common we might overlook its value, offers profound benefits, particularly suited to the cardiovascular concerns that often accompany our advancing years. The magic lies in apples' soluble fiber, especially a type called pectin. This fiber acts like a gentle broom in your digestive tract, binding to cholesterol and helping remove it from your body before it can enter your bloodstream. For those of us concerned about heart health, this natural cholesterol management can be truly significant, potentially reducing LDL, the less helpful cholesterol, without additional medication. Beyond cholesterol, apples offer compounds called polyphenols that help reduce inflammation in blood vessels and improve their function. Their potassium content supports healthy blood pressure, while their steady fiber helps regulate blood sugar, creating a trifecta of heart protection all wrapped in a familiar, satisfying crunch. There's something deeply reassuring about finding such powerful support in something so accessible, something that connects us to childhood memories and simple pleasures. Whether it's a Honeycrisp, enjoyed as an afternoon snack, a Granny Smith, adding tang to your salad, or a baked apple with cinnamon, bringing warmth to a cool evening. Each bite offers your heart gentle care. And perhaps that's the most beautiful thing about apples in this season of life. They remind us that sometimes the most effective health practices aren't exotic or complicated. They're as simple and steadfast as the fruits we've known all our lives. Let's continue our exploration with a fruit that challenges conventional thinking about what a fruit should be and offers profound nourishment for your bones, brain, and beyond. 3. Avocados. When we think of fruit, we typically imagine sweetness, juice, perhaps a vibrant color. The avocado defies all these expectations, creamy rather than juicy, mild rather than sweet, subtle green rather than bright and flashy. In many ways, it's the quiet philosopher of the fruit world, unassuming yet profound in its offerings. And what this unique fruit offers becomes increasingly valuable as we age. The journey beyond 60 often brings changes to our bone density, joint flexibility, and even the structure of our skin and brain. These changes are natural, but they don't need to define our experience or limit our joy in living fully. Avocados provide monounsaturated fats, the kind that nourish rather than harm your cardiovascular system. These fats help reduce inflammation throughout the body, potentially easing joint discomfort and supporting heart health. They also provide essential building blocks for brain cells, supporting cognitive function when we need it most. Perhaps most importantly, for our maturing bodies, avocados are rich in vitamin K, a nutrient critical for bone health that many of us don't get enough of. This vitamin helps calcium bind to bones, potentially reducing fracture risk, a significant concern as we age. The fruit also offers vitamin E for skin health, folate for heart protection, and fiber for digestive ease. There's a certain wisdom in embracing a fruit that nourishes so completely, that offers substance rather than just sweetness. Half an avocado on whole grain toast, slices added to a salad, or even a creamy avocado smoothie. Each serving becomes more than food. It becomes nurturing care for your evolving body. In a culture often fixated on restriction as we age, the avocado stands as a delicious reminder that nourishment, rich, satisfying, and complete, remains one of your body's most basic needs, regardless of your age. Now let's explore our final fruit, one that offers gentle healing for digestion and inflammation, two common concerns that can impact our quality of life after 60. 4. Papaya. There comes a point in many of our lives when digestion becomes less predictable than it once was. Meals that once brought only pleasure might now bring discomfort. Foods we've enjoyed for decades suddenly seem to sit heavily. This shift can feel discouraging, even isolating at times. Enter papaya, with its sunset-colored flesh and delicately sweet flavor, offering one of nature's most effective digestive supports. This tropical fruit contains an enzyme called papain that helps break down proteins, easing the digestive process and potentially reducing bloating, gas, and discomfort after meals. For those of us experiencing the digestive sensitivity that often accompanies aging, papaya isn't just fruit, it's relief. It works gently, naturally helping your body process food more completely without the side effects that can come with over-the-counter digestive aids. But papaya's gifts extend beyond digestion. Its rich supply of vitamin C and carotenoids helps combat inflammation throughout the body, potentially easing the joint stiffness or muscle tension that might limit your movement or disturb your sleep. It offers immune support through its antioxidants, helping your body maintain resilience against seasonal challenges. And there's something symbolically beautiful about papaya, the way its soft interior contrasts with its protective outer skin, reminds us that tenderness and strength can coexist, that gentleness doesn't mean weakness. Much like ourselves in these mature years, papaya offers its greatest sweetness and most profound nourishment when fully ripened by time. Whether enjoyed alone, added to smoothies, or paired with yogurt, papaya offers not just nutrition, but reconciliation, helping us make peace with bodies that are changing, supporting comfort when discomfort might otherwise prevail. It reminds us that nature provides not just sustenance, but solutions, particularly when we align our choices with our current needs rather than past habits. Now that we've explored these powerful fruits, both those to approach with care and those to embrace with joy, let's bring these insights together into a vision for daily living that honors your journey and supports your continued vitality. As we travel this beautiful path of aging, one truth becomes increasingly precious. Our bodies are not simply getting older, they're becoming more uniquely ours. The universal advice that might have served us in our youth now gives way to more personalized wisdom that honors your specific health story, your medications, your sensitivities, and your strengths. The fruits we've discussed today aren't simply good or bad. They're potential partners in your health journey, each offering different gifts and challenges. The power lies not in rigid rules, but in mindful awareness of how your unique body responds to each choice. Perhaps you'll decide to enjoy blueberries with your breakfast, knowing they're supporting your brain health and memory. Maybe you'll reach for an apple as an afternoon snack, feeling how its fiber steadies your energy and nourishes your heart. You might add avocado to your lunch salad, appreciating how its healthy fats support your joints and bones. And on days when digestion feels challenging, perhaps papaya will become your gentle evening companion. At the same time, you might choose to enjoy cherries more mindfully, savoring a few rather than a bowl full. You might speak with your healthcare provider about grapefruit if you're taking medications. Perhaps you'll balance your banana consumption with your kidney health in mind, or enjoy dried fruits as occasional garnishes rather than daily snacks. These aren't restrictions. They're refined choices that honor the beautiful complexity of your maturing body. They recognize that what served you at 40 may need reconsideration at 70, not because there's something wrong, but because you're evolving, as all living things do. In making these mindful choices, you're not just adding years to your life, though research suggests you might. More importantly, you're adding life to your years. You're supporting clear thinking, comfortable movement, steady energy, and digestive ease, all foundations for continuing to engage fully with the people you love and the pursuits that bring you joy. Because that's what this journey is ultimately about. Not simply extending life, but enriching it. Not merely surviving, but thriving with clarity, comfort, and purpose. Each fruit you choose becomes more than nutrition. It becomes an affirmation of your worth, a statement that your well-being matters, a commitment to honoring the body that has carried you through a lifetime of experiences. So as you stand in the produce section or browse the farmer's market in the days ahead, I hope you'll see these colorful offerings with new eyes, as potential allies in your continued vitality, as nature's pharmacy tailored to your current season of life, because you deserve not just to age, but to flourish, with wisdom, with intention, and with joy, one mindful bite at a time. I hope these insights have opened new possibilities for your health journey. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one insight from today that you plan to incorporate into your life? What fruits have you found particularly supportive as you've aged? Your experience matters deeply, and your wisdom might be exactly what another person needs to hear. If you found value in today's conversation, please share this video with someone who might benefit. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so we can continue exploring the art of vibrant aging together. Thank you for sharing this time with me today. Here's to your health, your happiness, and your continued growth, because the most beautiful chapters of your story may still be waiting to unfold.